growth is where the pain exists. You know, in the gym, growth, your muscle growth is where you're pushing and it's hard. You know, when you're trying to diet down, you know, it's going to be hard. If you're trying to bulk up, it's going to be hard eating all that extra food. You're trying to grow your business, it's going to be hard. You got to put the extra hours in, the extra stress, and all those types of things. Good morning. So we didn't do the card talk. We're going to do the gym talk. And today is day two, or not day two. It's the second day of leg day this week, I should say. And so we had a leg day on Monday. Today's Thursday. We're doing another leg day. And this is the first week of a new 4-week plan. And in today's leg day, we have 3 new exercises that I haven't done before. So we're actually going to start off with deadlifts, which we've done, but we're going to do deficit deadlifts. So you're going to see I'm going to be standing on a couple of plates about 2 inches thick, and so it's going to give me more stretch. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We got some other, we're going to do some Bulgarian split squats. I've never done those before. What else we got? There was one other additional one. Oh, rack pulls. We're also going to do some rack pulls, and so you'll see that I haven't done those. But anyway, why am I talking about this? So week 1 is kind of a primer week, and so we're not going to be pushing the weight as much as we are going to on weeks 3 and 4 especially, but we're still going to go for the 12 to 15 rep range. Even if I have a little extra more in the tank, I'm going to do that. Sometimes you need to not go complete exertion, especially when you're trying new exercises, because one, you want to make sure that your form is spot on, or close enough anyway, because otherwise you're risking injury. But also, it's that progression. You know, it's the principle of pruning in a way. Is so when I'm not big into planting and all that stuff, but for trees to grow healthy, is sometimes you have to cut branches away for them to grow healthier. Otherwise things get all mangled up and such. And sometimes the same thing is with us, is that we can't go balls to the wall all the time. Sometimes we have to cut back in order to grow. And that's one of the reasons why I do 4-week plans, and each week you're progressing. But when you go back to week 1, is, you know, you go back a little bit. So you go up, then you go back a little bit, then you go up, and you go up, go back a little bit, then you go up, and so keep progressing. And so first exercise we're going to do is deficit deadlifts. And so next clip, we're going to be on the deadlift platform. All right, see you there. All right, so set number 1, I'm standing on a couple of 45s here, and it's about 2 inches. And so it's going to give me extra stretch, and which obviously is going to give me some more tension on hams, glutes, and all that stuff. We're going to go 12, 15 repetitions here. Okay. All right, so 15. Now on deadlifts is when you do them, you don't want to be, sometimes you'll see people is they lift, first things are going up is, well, breath, let me explain it later. Bent over, you want it to be going up. If you're too far down, you see people go like this, you don't want to do that. It's just going straight up. Anyway, we got 3 more of these to do. Okay, so set number 2, that I was trying to say before is, a lot of times when people are doing deadlifts, this was the mistake I was making, is you get in there, and the first movement you see is this. And that's not where you want to be. You should already be in that position. So instead of having to be going up, do that, you're trying to lift, you want to be in that position already tight, and then pull up. And so as you strap in, at least I do, I know some aren't doing that, but I recommend it, especially is you want to get yourself in a tight spot. I like to put the bar against my shins, knees over, butt is already up. You can see it, and it's kind of tighten it here. So I'm sitting back tight, so I'm not down here, and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And another cue that really helped me out with my coach is that as I'm coming back down, I was tending to go all the way down and just kind of bend it over and not get any sort of bend in my knee. Not good. Is once you get to at your knee level, then you start bending down a little bit. Not like this, but where, bend a little bit, gets down. Not over the front, and just let it drop. And don't draw all the way down like this. You're trying to squat it. But when you're going down, then slight bend. All right, we got 2 more sets. All right, set number 3, another 15. Bar touching my shins, ankles here, chest up, stretch, butt up. Oh, 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5. One more. So deadlifts work a lot. It's like a whole body exercise. Your hams, your glutes, lower back, traps, lats. Works a lot of muscles. And they're fun to do once your form gets better. And I have more work to do in mine, but I don't know, I like doing them. Gotta feel kind of raw. All right, we got 1 more set. Okay, we are on set 4, last set. We're gonna do another 15 here. Oh, more. All right, I'm gonna show you something cool. Maybe you've seen one of these, maybe you haven't, but every gym that has a deadlift or clean spot should have one of these tools. My other gym doesn't. This makes it so easier. I'll put plates on and off, this down, voila. Now it's off the ground, make it much easier. Now you probably have seen, some of you have seen this. I think I've seen it, other stuff like on YouTube or whatever, but never in person, never had the chance of using one, but it sure makes it easier. Anyway, on to the next exercise. New exercise, we're doing rack pulls. Oh, let me put this in here. And rack pulls helps working on that upper part of the deadlift. Since we're only gonna go start from just above the knee and up, so you're gonna be able to do a lot more weight on there. So, but still gonna work your hams, your glutes, your back, lats, traps, all that stuff. You're just able to do a lot more. Like here, what did I add? I forget what I added here. 70 pounds compared to what I was doing, somewhere around those lines. So we're gonna still do 12 to 15. New exercise for me. Never done these before. Did a few practice ones and reps or sets. Just get a feel of it. But let's go. So you still want to get yourself in a good position. One, two, three. Oh. All right. All right, 15. Set 2. Set 2. Set 2 done. You can feel it nice there, glutes, upper body, back. Yeah, feels good. 2 more sets. All right, set 3. All right, 1 more set. All right, set 4. All right, so that was 4 set of that. Again, we're not going this first week, the 4 weeks, we're not going pushing as heavy. Definitely do more, but what I noticed, grip starts slipping even with the reps, even with the wraps towards the end of those sets. Next, we're gonna go to Bulgarian split squats, and I've never done these before, and so this should be interesting. I hear they're brutal. Okay, split squats. So way to set this up is is sit on the bench first, kind of figure out where your feet are gonna go. Put your feet out, and then that's kind of good distance to have. Just get up, put your 1 foot down. Now I don't look on my toe, put it here. I want to push off, and you don't want this foot, too far inside, because you won't be able to balance it. Slightly out. All right, then down. Switch.
Yeah, that stock got to what, 42 we think? What goes to 90 grams? I don't think you can get any cold.
Whew. Those are tough. Yeah, tiring. All right, 2 more sets. Whew. All right, set 2. Last time I started with the left foot. This one I'm gonna start with the right foot.
Yeah. So it's for me mentally.
Stay balance 14.
I did.
15.
Usually, I just saw the chart and I liked it, and I was so from my phone. I bought right, and I forgot to change the expiration date. Automatically defaults to the first expiration, which is usually the Friday ahead of time. And once I did it, it was too late. Later today, it was down 50%. And I looked at it like, 2 days. And it's too late at that point.
All right. The benefit of these. Of course, working my legs, but it's working, getting stretching and range of motion and mobility in my hips. I see that when I'm doing these. My left side, I get more flexibility on my left side. What's also interesting is that my right ankle, well, has more ability than my left ankle. Kind of weird. But it feels good, it burns. Get 2 more sets of this. Sometimes it's fun to change things up. Different exercises. And we're changing up your rep ranges. Add a little flavor to things. Sometimes we need to do that with work too, where we need to not change things wholesale. Because if it's working, it's working. But if you're finding yourself in a rut, it's monotonous, making your calls and you're bored, throw something in there. Change it up a little bit. Sometimes we'd play prospecting bingo with our team, where we have a bingo board. On each square, they have to say something or do something or get them to do something. The person they're calling to say something like, say baller on a call, or say dude, or find out what their favorite food is, and to turn into more of a game. And it's cool when you see that happen, because some people are like, oh, it's weird, but once they start it, it spices it up, changes things a little bit, adds a little more fun to it, and they break through that rut, that plateau, if you will. And sometimes you gotta change things up to break through any plateaus or ruts you're going through. All right, a little bit more rest, and then set number 3. Set 3. I might do 12 on this one, we'll see. right, we did 15. Oh, that quad. Oh, balance. Come on. Five more. All right, one more set. Whew. Yeah, one more set. I love that feeling where you feel wobbly after you put in good work. This is week 1 though. Maybe I should have did less weights on this one for this. But that's also one of the reasons why when you start on a new exercise, don't cut back on the weight you think you can do. Otherwise you might cook yourself too much. And then with a new stimulus, you might be too sore by the time you get to your next time you get to that muscle group. Now today's Thursday. I don't hit legs until Monday. So I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, obviously the rest of the today, I lift early in the morning to heal before next lift on Monday. But these are cooking me more than I thought. Actually, now I have to ask my coach, I'm feeling it a lot too. Not just the leg in the front, but also the leg that's the stabilizer. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong there. I'll ask him and see what he says, and I'll report back to you. So I do have a coach, and that's made tremendous impact on me, helping me stay on track. I ask him questions almost every day, and what I learn, I'm going to share with you. And so don't think of me as like I'm a know-it-all. I'm not. The things I'm learning and I'm sharing. My coach, he's got a doctorate in all this. He's also a world record holder and the lightest man ever to squat 1,000 pounds, which is pretty cool. So he was in powerlifting, but he knows hypertrophy and all that stuff too, nutrition. It's been great. All right, we got one more set. I gotta stop dawdling. Can we get 15? If we can't, we can't. Whew. What did I do last time? Start with this one. All right, so we're gonna start with this one. All right, we got 15. Sorry, looking at my junk. Three more, 12. Ooh, 15. Ooh. All right, so that's first set. Next we're gonna do back extensions, back raises. But if you watch my other videos on this, it's not just a lower back exercise. It really, really cooks your hamstrings. Then after that, we got calves. See you in a minute. All right, so I was gonna do these after back extensions, but there's somebody else on that, and I'm not gonna wait, so we'll do 4 sets of these. Stretch. Just gonna do 15 on these. Do a short rest between each set. Get the stretch. The bottom, again, just want a big stretch. Sometimes people with calves, they'll just go down a little bit and they only focus on the upper. You still want to focus on the eccentric, the stretched out position. Set 2. Stretch the bottom. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Set 2. 2 more. Set 3. One more. Last set. All right. 4 sets of that done. Then we're going to, well, you're down here. Sorry about that. Kind of weird talking to my dingling. Then we got the back extension. So I'll see you over there if it's free, or when it's free. All right, one of my favorite exercises, the burn that it gets and the stimulus on my hamstrings. So we're gonna do 15 reps, and you want to control on the way down. So you try to explode up and then all the way down, and make sure you get the extent. Now it's not just to here, but all the way down. That's where you're gonna feel on your hams. And so let's start here. Stretch down. 1. Control down. 2. 3. 4. 5. 15. 3 more sets of that now. Remember, we're on our first week here, so not pushing the weight as much. We're still getting a good stimulus with this. So 3 more sets. All right, set 2. 15 more. 1. Stretch. 2. 3. 4. 5. 2 more sets. So one of the things I'll do is on week 1, especially since the weight's not pushing as much, except those split squats were kicking my butt, is, well, I'm not pushing the weight as heavy or pushing towards failure at the end of the sets. So I'll do shorter rest breaks. It's another way for me to, I think, still keep intensity. Oof. 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 All right, 1 more set. All right, we got our last set. Last set of the day. Oof. All right, last set. Legs feel really good. Let's wrap this up. All right, so that's today's lift, today's leg day, second leg day of the week 1 of 4. We did 15 reps of everything. I'll definitely be able to push more weight next week, except maybe those Bulgarian split squats. Those, I gotta review the footage, send it to my coach and see if there's any sort of adjustments I need to make on those. Well, really adjustments on any of them. Or maybe it was too much weight for the first time, because that 15 was pretty tough, but I was also really feeling it, on the back leg even, and feeling the quads there too. But I mean, it was a great burn, so maybe that's just normal, and feeling on both legs or whatever. I really like the deficit deadlifts, and just get that extra stretch you get. Those couple of inches going further down, that felt great. And the legs, even though it wasn't pushing the weights nearly as hard as I would on like a week 3 or 4, it's really good stimulus. And that's one of the benefits of changing things up sometimes. It's not just changing rep ranges, but changing exercises. A lot of times people get into a routine where they just do the same exercises week in, week out for months upon months on end. And now some of the exercises, if they're still working great for you, absolutely, but sometimes you do need to change it up. Things get stale, or you just get into a zone where you're not really even connecting and focused, and you need something to shake yourself up. And we get into ruts all the time. We do with all sorts of things, how we get into a situation and then we do it without even thinking. And when we do things without thinking, sometimes that's a good thing, but sometimes it's not a good thing, because we're not in tune and we're not putting the max effort. And yeah, while it's great to not have to think and react in certain situations, like you just automatically default to doing something, like a car runs through you, or a ball comes through the street and you stop on your brakes, like you don't even think about it, you just automatically do it. That's a good thing. But if you need to be focused on your lifts and you're not connecting with your muscles, or you're just going through the motions because you're not thinking about it, well, that's not good. Or you're doing your prospecting calls and you're just going through the script that you have and you're not putting your focus on your tonality, well, that's not a good thing. And if you're just making your calls, you're just going through the motions and you're not getting results of it, maybe you need to change things up a little bit. I'm not saying not make the calls. It's like I'm not saying not to lift, but change how you approach the call. I mentioned earlier, make it a game, do something fun, spice it up. Sometimes you need to do that to get out of the mundane. Like people in a relationship, sometimes they'll say like they're in a rut. Okay, well, let's go somewhere and do something different. Get out of that rut. And so wherever you're at is, got to do different things sometimes. Get uncomfortable. Get your spot out of being where you're comfortable, and get a new stimulus going. Get a new exertion, a new pain point, and it's where growth is. Growth is where the pain exists. In the gym, your muscle growth is where you're pushing and it's hard. When you're trying to diet down, it's going to be hard. If you're trying to bulk up, it's going to be hard eating all that extra food. You're trying to grow your business, it's going to be hard. You got to put the extra hours in, the extra stress, and all those types of things. Raising your kids, that's hard. It can be painful, but it's also where awesomeness comes, where beauty comes, where joy comes, where you look back and say, yes, that was awesome. That was hard, but it was worth it. I rather live with the pain of that than the pain of regret of not giving it a shot. Like, I'd rather have the pain of failing, but at least I tried, than the pain of regret and never knowing. I was talking to my dad, and he went for a different job. My dad's a truck driver, and he switched companies, and because they made him these promises and all these types of things, and he goes, I don't know if I should leave where I'm at. When I talked with him, I was like, well, Dad, what's the worst can happen? You don't like it, and I'm sure they'll take you back. Leave on good terms and all that stuff. But you're not going to like it. You're going to always be asking yourself, should I have done it? Should I have done it? Well, he went and he did that job, and sure enough, it was not something he liked. They made false promises to him, and he went back to his other job, and they offered him more. But I asked him, aren't you glad that you at least tried so you know? And he was. He said, yes, I'm glad now I know, and that doesn't have to be question himself all the time or at his current job. It's like, was there something better? Is there something better? Now he knows that what he has is good, he's getting more, and then what that other opportunity he thought might be better was not better. And so he doesn't have that regret, and that's a great thing. Anyway, I have to get some work done, and so I'm gonna head back to the office at the place at Renton. Have yourself a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is an upper body mixture, hodgepodge, cornucopia of different things. See you then.